Welcome back. You're still watching the SABC's Prime News. Former SABC News Group Executive Simon Tebele has asked the Johannesburg Labour Court to disregard an earlier affidavit in which he takes responsibility for the dismissal of 8 of the broadcaster's journalists.
Tebele's lawyer told the court that circumstantial evidence before the court proves that it was indeed Hlaudi Motsoeneng who was responsible for the decision, the former COO of the SABC. Well, 8 journalists were fired after they challenged a decision by the public broadcaster to ban violent protest visuals.
That there is a denial.
Tebele, Motsoeneng and the SABC were arguing before the Labour Court on what portion of the journalists' legal costs each of them should pay. With Motsoeneng's lawyer arguing that his client did not make the decision to fire the journalist. He referred to an affidavit signed by Simon Tebele in which he takes responsibility for the axing. In the affidavit, Tebele says he fired the group under the directive of then acting CEO Jimmy Matthews.
Acting CEO, having spoken about Jimmy Matthews, he says, then brought it to my attention that the journalist had been coming to his office and had been writing letters to him which supported his assertion that the journalists were acting in defiance with the editorial decision. This is when the acting the CEO, Mr. Jimmy Matthews, issued a directive to that the journalists ought to be suspended right away, and I implemented that directive.
Unions, Bemawu and Solidarity, who represent the journalists, have argued that all 3 parties should be held liable for the legal fees. The SABC submitted that it should only be held liable for 10% of the costs. But Tebele's lawyer held that it should be Motsoeneng who should pay the legal costs.
My instructions are to argue that your lordship should find according to what the evidence that is before court.
What is that?
The evidence before court, my lord, is already submitted by the applicants, and that is that there is circumstantial evidence that overwhelmingly suggests that the second respondent was responsible for the dismissal.
Judgment will be handed down on Friday. Mahla Kukomane, SABC News, Johannesburg.